All right. So, shall we start the presentation? Okay. All right. So, okay. So, good evening to professors and doctors. So today, I'm Diana Aqila Binti Khairuddin from LG701 will be sharing with you my proposal entitled Gender Differences in the Use of Metadiscourse Markers in Political Opinion Columns. So first, uh, my presentation will consist of background of study, statement of problem, research objective and significance of study, scope of study, conceptual framework, and research method. Alright, so for background of study, the reason why I want to do this research, this study, because first I'm generally interested in difference, gender study as well as meta discourse analysis. I even conducted my undergraduate studies on this area, and also I'm generally interested on feminism issue. So this is reason why I choose to do this research. So women in journalism, specifically, are still struggling for their equal rights because the number of them are very small compared to the female counterpart. So due to that, they are often open for bullies and discrimination and such. So one of the example will be from Susan Moore, a freelance journalist. So she was bullied and taught by her own editor and staff, and received no help from anyone because everyone's fear of losing their job, uh, causing her to resign for the organization. So even the female colleagues are actually against her. Why? Because they need to follow the majority, which is the male. So this is how women are still having no voice in the society, in the journalism field. And of course, female journalists are, even if they have a position as a female journalist, they are often encouraged to do a softer feature lifestyle stories such as entertainment, celebrity, cooking, and such, rather than tackling hard news, crime, and politics because they think that women are not capable enough to, or not knowledgeable enough, or doesn't have the right skill to cover to go and cover this kind of stories, according to Friend 2013. So basically, from my reading, there are three previous research. So the first research is by Harp, Bachman, and Lowe in 2018. So they are focusing on how feminist commentary by women a whisper among op-ed voices. So how women have a less voice in op-ed pages or opinion pages because the number of them are being low. And also, um, even it even they are try to be a feminist, they cannot go out and say I'm a feminist writer. Because why? Because it will be stigmatized by the publics, as well as they're also open for criticism. So of course, again, this issue, even up until today, is still highly debated. So, since the research is done by or asking on the personal opinion of the female writers, so the researcher recommended on doing the research on organizational level. So, which is what I'm going to do, because basically, rather than asking only for female opinion, I will also asking for both male and female opinion regarding female involvement in the journalist field. Right. So the second will be by Celis, Spencer and Duru in 2007, on how the abusive comment affects the perception of women author's credibility. So basically, women are again exposed to abusive comment by uh, especially by male counterpart, and due to that, somehow this kind of comment is either might affect their work performance or might not affect their work performance. So again, since the study is only focusing on an abusive comment, so maybe because being abusive is more than just a comment, it might be in other form of non-verbal and such. So the researcher recommend for more than one comment or more things that might be abusive to women. And so what I did was rather than focusing on just a comment, I'm also focusing on other issues on how it affect women. So it can be discovered from reader's perception questionnaire. Okay. So the third one will be by also Hart, Bachman and Loeb in 2014. So they analyzing about the opinions of women colonists in U.S. opinion pages. So again, there's not much research on female colonists because they are minorities, so less interest on them. So basically, um, and they are doing a content analysis where they analyze the article of the written by the female columnist. So again, I'll be doing the same thing, but rather than just analyzing only female colonists, I'll be analyzing for both in terms of their language. So I want to see whether, because people always research always say that there are differences in language between men and women. So I want to see whether in the professional field, or in this case in meta discourse aspect, is there any differences between men and women? And of course, this study focusing only on gender, but again, I'll be combining the between gender and language. All right. So, in scope of study, so I have three. First, I will limit my study to a local and male and female journalists who are working in English online news portal, website and blogs within Malaysian context, because I believe local resident has upper hand with the local political scene and how it resonates with the public. Second, of course, it must be published within a year period of time, starting from April 2020 until December 2020 at this moment, because are we only focusing on the issues revolve or argument revolve on BPN issues, Bantuan Prihatin Nasional. One of the it caused a major uproar in the social media. So I want to see how people's view on these topics. And then the articles will be from pro and anti-government blogs and website, because I want to reduce biasness and to see how this their political perspective affects their writing style. All right, for the research objective, I have two. So the first one is to investigate the influence of gender on the use of meta-discourse markers. And the second, to examine the influence of gender of reader perception on the credibility of opinion columns. So my study will beneficial for three parties. First is HRD publication company. Why? Because they need to realize that women should have equal rights to be recruited as reporters and should have given equal rights to report the same thing as men. The second one will be Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development and Ministry of Human Resource. Why? Because this ministry actually helps to regulate women career ladder, as well as women's uh, path in the industry. And then the third will be curriculum development department, where I think education and awareness is very important since the early days, so that because at the end they need to be educated on how women and men should have equal rights in the journalist field, rather than being traditionally fixed with the traditional view on men and women role. Alright, so for the conceptual framework, I'll be using Adele's Taxonomy of Metadiscourse 2010. I'll be focusing on three. Subtopic will be which are discourse organization, speech at level, and references to the audience. Alright, so for the research method, for the instrument, I'll be using again Adele's Taxonomy of Metadiscourse for my RQ1, and then for my RQ2, I'll be using questionnaire in the form of Google Form. And then for the sampling, for RQ1, I'll be taking the article from top 10 political blogs and website in Malaysia. With the data are the ranking are provided by fitspot.com. So, and for the second question, second RQ will be, I will distribute the questionnaire to 100 and to 150 students of UiTM Shah Alam, because I think students will have nowadays have a more opinion on how men and women's uh, equality in the society, right? So for the research method, RQ1, of course, I'll be taking 10, at this moment 10 political opinion columns on PPN from those top political website and blogs from April to December 2020. Why April? Because I think studying April is the starting point for the uh, donation or for the fund to be published to the society. And then the article there will be sorted according to the writer's gender, and then will be analysed using the Adele's taxonomy and meta discourse. So I will classify according to gender to see which gender use what, which gender use which meta discourse marker more and such. Alright, so for the research method, for the RQ2, I'll be using questionnaires. So I have distribute the questionnaire to two groups, which is the control group and experimental group, to see how the gender effects or the appearance effects. So for the control group, they will given 5 articles with no photos and names of the author, and the second one will be 5 articles with photos and name of the author. So after they read those articles, they will be given a questionnaire to measure the writer's credibility solely based on their personal opinion. So the evaluation item will be on the whether the author is qualified, friendly, intelligent, expert, informed, trustworthy, rational, unbiased, and likable. So they scale it from 1 to 5, not at all or to a great deal. So that's all for today. So I really hope for your guidance, and I'm looking forward for all your questions. Thank you very much.